Off to another day. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Well, I've been up for a while, so is Mel. We got a little rain during the night. We were so excited for that rain, but being we hadn't had much for rains lately, I know some places flooded, but not around here. When we heard the water outside trickling, running off places during the night, her and I both were worried that there was a water pipe busted or a leak somewhere, which woke us up, and then check out what's going on and find out it's raining, which, man, that was a blessing. But it kind of threw us off, and we both got a little lack of rest last night. So got up this morning and took my niece to school. I don't always take her to school. She goes with a group of her classmates. Melinda used to drive her to school, but on the e-bike, or whatever you want to call it, not really a bike, a cart. But Melinda's got other things to be doing. But this morning, July's classmates weren't going with her, and she didn't want to walk alone or take a tricycle. They're so jammed up and so packed. And I said, you know what, I'll take you. I was happy to get out and do it. I'll do it more often. As I said, this year, I'm looking for all the reasons to get out, not to stay. And any little get out. So anyway, she was so excited and took her and dropped her off. And she's always so proud with me. I really appreciate that about her. Well, we are full booked here today. Today and yesterday again, and that's a nice thing. I had to turn some bookings away, some people that was wanting to stay, because we full booked. Sure be nice to have these other rooms going up there. They're getting there. That's got a roof on it now, man. That's pretty cool. So it won't be long. That'll all be changing color there too, and be all getting nice and white and pretty. And we've already got the doors and the windows and everything here, so we'll be able to put it all together. Be pretty cool. So that's what's happening on that. The boat's going from right here now. So Melinda's already up here raking early this morning from the leaves and the mess where the boat had been sitting. And I got a little bit of stuff I need to clean up that's sitting here left from it also. And I'll get that all straightened up. And man, it's gonna be nice to have this all back nice and clean again. In fact, I think that's what I'm gonna work on right now. The boat is out the water. It's technically pretty much ready to launch. Need to connect a couple cables back to the motor. I need to mount the remote, the shifter, if you may want to call it a shifter, but it's called a remote on a boat. I need to mount the remote. Some little things like that. It's gonna be pretty hot out there at the beach. Let's see if I can scavenge up a small tarp and tie just right over where I'm working, and move on to the next thing.
Come on, bro. I want the Nike. I want the Nike slippers on my boat. Almost dead. I think it's no good. I better just put the cart.
Yeah, there it is. So right now I need to lash those on. There's a couple little holes need to drill. Pull the lashings through, and I need to screw down the hatch door. But I'll probably gonna go ahead after a while and bring the motor out here and go ahead and sit it back on there also. So I can go ahead and tie the steering back up and everything. But it's excited for it to be out here by the water. And that's gonna be just about ready to launch. There's things that can be done. There's sanding, there's painting, there's a little bit of fiberglass work, things I want to do, but all of those things, none of it stops it from just being put in the water right now and used. Set the motor on it, set the fuel cell in there, and lash the outriggers down. I mean, really, it could go out on the water. Well, I'll do a little boat update right here. Maybe I'm going to launch it later. We'll see. I need to still do a little sanding out here and a little painting. Nothing too much. I've got a power cord out here right now because I'm right here. We have power right here at the beach. I got this hatch door installed, sealed in today, which is really nice. So I'm happy to get that, and it's all caulked in and stainless steel screws put in. I haven't wired it yet, but I put this light right here up on the bow. You really don't see in these Philippines boats with that, but I had this and back home in Texas, and I brought it with me over here. Thought, well, it'd be pretty cool to put that on, and then I'll have my red and my green here and all. But I drilled a hole through and I screwed it down, but I haven't wired it yet, and I didn't put sealer underneath here yet until after I wire it in. So that's the deal with that. Now let's come back here. I've got the motor on, I've got the steering connected back. Now some of you know I had all this on here before. Yeah. And I got the remote screwed onto the side today. It's really nice having this wood here to screw into, this Gemelina wood. And I put stainless steel screws in there. Before, all I had on the old console was just plywood only, thin, and I had to run some bolts through. The cables here, I've got a set of Yamaha cables here. These are actually original Yamahas, and I need to put them on because these blue ones here I bought from Amazon, and they did not hold up. They lasted about a year, and that's just not acceptable. So look at these were bought, like I say, on Amazon, and look at that. Look where it all just rusted up, and look here what they did. Let me find a spot here on them. You see here they all, let me grab this one, they all split and frayed. See that? Look at that. That's just horrible. So I've got these original Yamahas right here. So I'm really happy I did those. I didn't have to order anything, but I need to get out here and change the ends here right now and take the remote back loose, just a couple screws, take the back off of it, get that swapped out. But I am so disappointed in these cables that I bought on Amazon. I mean, just totally disappointed. Look at that. That is after, let's see if I can get that where you can see it. The sun is blowing out. Look at that. Just a year, you know. So that's a disappointment, but at least I got some backups on that. Now, what else I want to show here is here on this outboard. This has been pull rope start only. And let's set this cover off. And I have an electric start kit here to put on. So you got your starter motor here. Got the bracket for mounting it. Got the flywheel here. Battery cable, solenoids, and a charging unit in there also, because being that this was just pull start before, it didn't have a need to charge a battery. So it'll be able to charge now. So I guess I maybe get out here and try to put that on. I'm hoping I will still have the pull start as well as the electric start. But that's what I'm going to work on here now, is start installing the electric start here on this thing. And then I've got a battery box. It came with battery cables. I've got a battery box sitting down in there right now. I'm not sure where I'm going to mount it yet. And that'll give me electric start to where I don't have to be crawling back here to the back and yanking on it all the time. So I see like this bracket here. Most likely goes in place of this bracket. I'll discard it. And I see this original cover here is made where a Bendix goes into a flywheel with teeth. This flywheel has no teeth. It's the only thing, I don't have a flywheel puller, and I might need one, or I may have to make one. So I'm trying to debate if I want to do the electric start after I test the boat and go ahead and just leave it and pull start like it is right now. Do some test runs with it first and then come back and do that. I think that's probably what I'm going to do. I did not record it, but I did a shakedown run on the boat today. It was just so overcast and gray, and it was bad weather and rainy, and it just wasn't really a good video experience. And sure enough, when we got out there, a storm hit too. But I did a little shakedown run on it. Was really pleased at how it performed. There was the fact that I hadn't finished up here on the bow yet, and there was a little bit of water came in and up and over. I haven't finished back here yet either. I've got a place here that used to be up higher on the side, so I'm gonna make me a walk board here, and that'll fix that. But there was things like up here on this bow on my boat, if y'all seen before, I had a chine like this one I just built and put on. I just did it this evening out here right before dark, and this splits the water. It comes over the bow, shreds it off to either side. The side of the boat used to come up this high right here before I added in these seats. The back of the seats here, added most of that height back within, an inch and a half. And what it did do though is leave a low place right here that water could off this bow right here coming up there. So I made these little front plates right here. I've still got to finish working on this, but I worked on that this evening. Made these little front plates that are angled back. They're kicked back, and I'll get these all painted in and match on the boat. And it'll divert that water down under, and it'll also just stop it from coming over the top right here. Still got a little piece of wood to put in across here, all the way across, and it'll also seal this little gap here by another inch and a half right there. That same thing, it'll divert water coming in off this bow, even on this back part, from going inside. So I've got that to contend with. So I got this made, I got those made, and then I had shifted a whole bunch of weight to the front because the front used to ride so high, and this thing rides so perfect with these outriggers on here, nice and level and flat. But actually, one of the problems I had was now the back was up too high, and my prop was cavitating because it needs to be deeper in the water. So I had moved the gas tank and the battery forward to bring more weight in the front for the way it used to react, but now it rides more level like I need it, and I actually needed more weight in the rear. So I also was able to go ahead and move the fuel tank where I had it before, right here on the very back, and that'll help put some weight down here in the back end, keep the prop down more. And I thought I was going to need the battery way forward, and I ended up bringing it back, and I built this little platform here this evening also, and got the battery in there, which I have a trolling motor right here also. So if I get in either shallow water or if my motor quits, I have the trolling motor. And I was also perfect space, got my anchor tucked in and all. So that's all working out pretty good. So I'm gonna give it another shakedown run tomorrow and see how things go, see how those work out up there. And maybe, hopefully, the weather might be better and I can get some video footage and all. But today, I did not want to deal with a camera. I just did not want to deal with a camera. It was just Cap and I, and we took it out for a shakedown run in kind of bad weather, and we need to pay attention to what was going on. So that's the story with that. The motor ran great. The boat ran great. It steered good, other than like you go over some waves and stuff and the prop cavitating. So it could be possible that I might need to cut my transom back there and drop it like 2 inches. I might need to make a little cut down about 2 inches and back up. We'll see. It didn't have that problem before, but now that the front is riding more down the way it needed to, it of course kicked the back of the boat up a little bit. So we will definitely see. And the pontoons just ran absolutely beautiful, and the water just absolutely beautiful. So the main other thing I need to deal with is also, you see where this groove is here. It used to be plywood in there, and it ran up kind of high, well, up to this height right here, the same as this outrigger here before. And I don't have that in here now, which puts the boat lower to the water. But I'm gonna have a walk board that's gonna come right here, even with this, but it's not gonna stay that wide. It's gonna taper back in narrow to where it's only maybe like 8 inches wide back here in the back from this point out. Maybe it's gonna have maybe 5 inches only sticking out here, but it'll have that little same backboard like that, and that will give me a walk board coming around. That's gonna really be great. I even just really missed not already having that today. And as well, that piece of plywood coming out here and that back on it will also give me more protection from the water or any waves or anything splashing in. So definitely we'll be getting that built too. I already have the material here for it, and it's going to be like actually the top priority thing for me to get done is to build that. So that's the deal, just being honest. It wasn't no like grand. I got to take it out and show everyone. We just decided, even with it rainy and bad weather and waves kicking up, to take it out for a shakedown. And we did, and it was fun. And I drove it back up on the shore right here. And there she is, and I am very happy with her. I look forward to doing more painting and adding more color. It's really bland looking to me right now. A lot of this is just base coat stuff, so I also look forward to doing all of that. But she's moving right along though, and I tell you what, she'll get on out there on the water nice and smooth.